Yo, 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 Smash Gang, we back with a trade video for all of you to see some of the trades that's been going on recently in our Dynasty League. Today we're going to probably do 3 trades. We're going to break them down. And luckily, every single trade features one of the Mailbox Smashers. Yep, each of us have done a trade within the past week, and you're going to see exactly what it was. Some big moves were being made. So the first trade we're going to do is Willie be always ready. I'm going to drop the trade right here. Will, just go ahead and walk us through, your reasoning for why you made this.
All right. So mainly I needed a quarterback. And I know he had a pretty good set of quarterbacks. And I've talked to him before. I mean, he wasn't that high on Daniel Jones. I'm not really like super high on him. I think he has potential, but I knew TJ needed a receiver. I know he wants to move up. I didn't want to give him my 1.5 in the draft. So I said, you want to swap 1.8, 1.10? So we kind of went along there because he really wants to grab a running back, and I feel like he thought a lot of the people at 110 would be gone. J.K. Clyde might be there, but I know he really wants J.K., and I think he could probably get him at 1.8, just how the layout is looking. You know, Riley was saying he might not be there at 1.5, but that's not going to happen. I think J.K. is the guy he wants at 1.8. Y'all know I love Thielen. I've hyped him up a lot. Everybody talk about how old he is. He's about to be 30 going into season, but this dude is an athlete no matter what. He's the kind of receiver you want for fantasy consistency. He's going to get catches no matter what. It doesn't matter if Diggs is on the other side of the field or not. He's going to get targets. He had better chemistry with Kirk Cousins than Diggs ever did. I think Kirk likes Thielen more. Yeah, it's going to hurt. Maybe he's going to now have the one on him more often than he did the last few seasons. But Thielen was good. I knew TJ wanted him, so we made something work. I was fine with moving back 2 spots in the draft since I had my 1.5. Even at 1.5, I'm not really looking for a wide receiver. I really want to try to go for a running back or quarterback. So I could probably get what I want at 110 with somebody I'm comfortable with. And I also got a 3-1 where I have a few guys in that spot where I think I'd be happy no matter what. Probably like 4 or 5 guys where I'm just like, I'm fine. Because I also have a 3-7, 3-10 in the 3rd round. So I have kind of like my pick of the litter in the 3rd round. So I think it's a good trade. In our league, it got a lot of crap, but TJ got what he wanted. I got what I wanted. And I don't know. Everybody, I think everybody, or not everybody, but I think me and TJ are both happy with it.
Yeah, can't that. If you're happy with the trade, you're gonna catch some shit from some guys in your league. I'm usually one, like, I'm always giving folks shit. But
that's the thing. A lot of people just get mad that maybe they want to comment on how bad the trade is, but like sometimes people are just mad nobody's making trades with them. Avery. I'm just kidding. Avery has a good team.
Shots fired, bye. I'm just kidding.
Avery has a good team. I'm just tired. I was just so tired of seeing Kerryon Johnson. But everybody's gonna make comments no matter what.
Yeah, I know we're doing trades right now. Let's just seriously, what is Kerryon Johnson's value right now? What honestly, what do you think is a fair price for him?
I think it's a mid to late 2nd round pick. Anywhere probably between 2.6 to probably 2.5 to 2.9, I think is fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was just wondering.
Yeah. Now, if the Lions don't draft a guy to take his place, then I might slide up even to like an early 2nd, late 1st.
Yeah, I don't think you can get a 1st. Even if they don't draft somebody, which they're gonna draft somebody.
If you're a carry-on owner and somebody offers you any 1st-round pick, I think you take it and run.
Yeah. Riley, do you want to say anything about Will's trade, or do you want to go to the next one?
I thought it was good for both sides. Initially, and I did. I said that Will killed him. And I still think Will, if you talk like pure value, I think Will probably made away with the better side. He got rid of an aging wide receiver and he brought in a quarterback that in our last video I talked about how high I am on. And in that super flex league, I think having that solid QB2, QB3 is a really big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
for
was the main
sure.
thing is I think I just really needed a quarterback because I have Deshaun, but then my quarterback 2 going in next season was going to be Big Ben. And I needed it. I wanted if I could get a young quarterback, that's mainly what my whole thought process was. If I can get a young quarterback and still have Big Ben coming off a bye week, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right, let's go to the next trade. That's going to feature yours truly, AK-47 at your back door. That's not even really my name. I don't even know why I say that. Anyway, so yeah, here's the trade right here. Traded with Ben. Throw a picture up of Ben. No one's seen Ben before. I traded away Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton, Daryl Henderson, and Alexander Madison for Juju, Kenny Galladay, and Marlon Mack. I know Riley hates the trade. We're already going to put that out there. Riley hated the trade. Will's on my side, so we're going to go ahead and let you know.
Yeah.
This is the reasoning that I made the trade. Mike is a complete, I'm going to halt the ball down, jump ball, touchdown machine, but he's not like this crazy PPR magnet that's like, I don't know. I just don't have a lot of confidence in him. I know that Brady's coming to town, which also makes me even more weary of. I'm uncomfortable. I'm very uncomfortable with Mike Evans on my team, just with a lot of uncertainty. And I don't see Brady just chunking the ball to him on a 60-yard plays where Mike thrives. So I'm not saying Mike Evans is a bad player. I just feel more comfortable with him not on my team. I know that I basically flipped Mike Evans and Juju, but Juju has a lot of uncertainty and risk as well. But he's 4 years younger. He's, relatively the same size. He's shown he can do it. And there's just a lot of upside with Juju, especially with Big Ben coming back. And I think that, even the Steelers franchise organization in itself, I think he's in a good spot. If they trade him, his talent will prevail, in my opinion. So for now, I think that Juju, Mike Evans, just kind of making that flip on my roster was good in my favor. Kenny Galladay, basically for Cortland Sutton, essentially. That's what I'm going to say. I don't really know if that's how people are going to take it. Kenny Galladay, I got him. He's going to be a top 10 receiver. Ben's going to say, he said he's mediocre. I was just messing with Ben. It was literally in a text. It wasn't even me talking to him. I was just like, yeah, he's so mediocre. Ben's just always trying to gas himself up. So, I was just trying to bring him down a little bit. Just tell him that his team wasn't that good. But I really did. Galladay, it's like, he's about to ball. He's got Stafford. I think Galladay's about to have a massive year. He's been producing, and he's still even younger than Mike Evans. And just pairing him with Juju, I think, could be 2 wide receiver ones. And then Daryl Henderson, I got rid of him and Madison as Ben's handcuffed to Dalvin Cook, just because Madison was just – I just had him. And Henderson, he could be the starter. More likely, he's a running back by committee. The Rams could bring somebody in the draft. I thought that I could probably get more for him right there. And right now, Mac, he's behind the best offensive line in football. The Indianapolis Colts, one of the best game managers the game's ever seen, Phillip Rivers, knows what plays run. I think Mac could easily be a running back 1 this year. He's not really a dynasty asset, but I think Mac could help you win a championship in 2020. Notice what I said there. Not for years to come. 2020, Mac could be the guy. So that's my trade. That's my reasoning. I'm ready to hear what either of you have to say.
All right. So I was more on Jones's side, like he said, because I'm a really big Juju and Kenny Galladay fan. I'm not a Mike Evans guy. I know the hype around him. He's an insane receiver, touchdown machine, but I don't want a guy that's really not the kind of wide receiver that Tom Brady really likes. He's going to be more favored toward Chris Godwin. He's not going to just chunk the ball down to Mike Evans because he really doesn't have the arm strength. Obviously, he can still throw the deep ball, but I don't trust him as much as Jameis because Jameis would just throw it up if he didn't care. Absolutely, gunslinger. He didn't care. Tom's not going to do that. He's going to make the right decisions most of the time. And I just think Juju coming back with Big Ben, who's kind of the same way. It's like he really likes that type of receiver. Juju's very similar to how Antonio Brown is. A little bigger, a little little faster maybe, but I think Juju fits in with Big Ben. And then Kenny Galladay is getting Matt Stafford back for the whole year. I mean, you saw he had 11
Gun
touchdowns,
slinger.
another gunslinger, absolutely. And he's going to get him back the whole season. He finishes wide receiver 9. He had 11 touchdowns, and half the season he had David Blau throwing to him. I mean, that's impressive.
And that was another reason Kenny Galladay's produced with all kinds of quarterbacks, you know.
Absolutely. And then Sutton, I'm meh on Cortland Sutton. He's good, but I mean, you're going to get Drew Lock throwing to you, and you don't really know it. You're getting Ingram in, and he's not really going to they're going to be running the ball a lot, I think, and I just think Sutton's not really going to benefit as much as those other receivers. So I think it's good to dump in. And then, like you said, Marlon Mack has the best offensive line. And, I mean, if you can dump Darrell Henderson and Madison so he can get a handcuff for Dalvin, and then Henderson, you don't even know. Like, I think Malcolm Brown's going to be the starting running back for the Rams this season. I mean, I think me and Riley talked about it before. Malcolm Brown was the guy getting the majority of the carries last year. Maybe they like Henderson's upside, but if you can get some value for him now, go for it. So that's why I like him. I think Marlon Mack's definitely better. If you're essentially thinking Juju is a swap with Cortland or Galladay is a swap with Evans, then you're switching Marlon Mack for 2 backup running backs. That's great value, and that's why I'm definitely higher on that side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you said I hated it. I'm not going to tell you I hate it. But for me personally, I don't like making these, like 4 for 3 swaps and stuff. I like to kind of keep my trades where there's a centerpiece. And in this trade, there's 4 studs that swapped hands. You know what I mean? And for me, I would much rather keep my guys and be wrong on them than take your guys and be wrong on them. Maybe that's just kind of a selfish dynasty player play. But, like when I look at Juju, I'm not 100% sold that he's a Batman. I think he's more of a Robin. I think he's the prototypical wide receiver 2. And I don't know if he's the guy that is going to be the guy that can be the true alpha wide receiver 1, like a Julio Jones or a DeAndre Hopkins. I don't think he's that guy. And, it just worries me. Like Mike Evans, yeah, he's not going to get like crazy volume with Tom Brady. But when you look at him, he's always among the league leaders in yards per catch. And I don't think that's going to change with Tom Brady. Like last year, he only pulled in 67 catches. Like, I think I would bet like everything in my bank account that he has at least 67 receptions again. And I don't think his numbers are going to change all that much. I think he's still going to get his targets. He's way too talented to not. Kenny Galladay, I think he's super safe. But Cortland Sutton, a lot of people are saying, the Broncos are probably going to go try and go draft a receiver. And a lot of people would think that would hurt Cortland Sutton. I'm not sure it's going to. It might help him. Like what if they go draft Henry Ruggs and now he's the over the top guy and Cortland Sutton's the intermediate guy. And I think Cortland Sutton's stock is going to rise. Marlon Mack, bringing in a running back that you think is going to help, win your championship. I think that's great. The only thing that kind of worries me, and I don't have any problem with what you gave up. I mean, I think what you gave up is perfectly fine, but I think that the Colts are going to go out and they're going to make a shock in the second round. They're going to draft somebody like Jonathan Taylor or J.K. Dobbins. And I think you're going to see a lot of kind of what happened in for example, like what the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson, even though this is a running back. I think that Marlon Mack's going to carry the load for the first half of the year, but towards the end of the season, they're going to rely on that rookie to be the workforce.
Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders. There you go.
Yeah, like Miles Sanders. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's just – I think the shelf life isn't good. But I don't have a problem with what you gave up for him if you want to look at Henderson and Madison versus Matt in a vacuum.
Yeah. I think the trade was best interest to me and my team, so that's why I ultimately made the trade. All right, so now we're gonna do Riley's trade. He traded with Ben as well. Riley actually got AJ Brown and Matt Breida, but sent Keenan Allen and Robert Woods.
Yeah, so after I made this, I'm not gonna lie, I had a little buyer's remorse, and I had to really kind of question myself. Damn, did I make the right move? I love AJ Brown. Really broke out in the second half of the year. I kind of have some doubts on whether or not he can sustain it, but for me, it was about finding the overall upside for my lineup. I love Keenan Allen. Absolutely love Keenan Allen. And I think Robert Woods might be the most slept on receiver in all of fantasy football.
I was going
But
to say that for Keenan Allen.
well, Keenan Allen too. I mean, I traded two guys that are really, really solid floor guys. You know, Keenan's going to have his bust weeks, but for the most part, like you go look at Keenan, there was a stretch of about 4 weeks. It was like week 4 to week 8. Like he just absolutely screwed me. Like he was awful. Like I think 1 week he posted a goose egg. And I'm worried about the quarterback situation with the Chargers. You know, even if they bring in a rookie or if they go with Tyrod, I don't know what they're going to do with Keenan Allen. Phillip Rivers is great about, you know, you can say what you want, but the guy, he fed Keenan Allen. And I think the way my receivers were constructed, I feel like I had enough wide receiver depth to take 2 of them and bring in a guy that I think could potentially be a wide receiver 1 in fantasy, a guy who's going to be an alpha. And, you know, Robert Woods, for me, he was a bye week fill-in type guy. So I felt comfortable letting him go. And then bringing in Breida, to be honest, it was just a throw-in. When I sent the trade, I added Breida to it just to see if he'd take it. I don't expect Breida to go out and help my fantasy team, but let's say he gets cut or he gets traded and he lands with somebody that needs, you know, a running back help. And, you know, I've got a guy in the second half of the fantasy year who's carrying the load for somebody. So for me, it was all about the upside and it was about the upside and giving up a little depth to get that upside.
Yeah, I thought it was a great trade. You know, Ben's trying to win now. I think, you know, he can potentially win now with those pieces, you know, if things play out right. You got AJ Brown. That was the gold mine in this deal, and I think that you got him, and that was great. So the fact that AJ Brown's on your receiving end of the deal, that was a sealer for me.
I think the main thing with this was, do you trust Keenan Allen coming in with probably a rookie quarterback? And for me, I think he's still going to be consistent, but Robert Woods really, like Riley said, he's been disrespected a little bit. Last year, he was he was a top 10 wide receiver the last 5 or 6 weeks of the season when Cooper Kupp kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
They kind of flipped a coin on who was best. Kupp was the guy in the first half. Woods was the guy in the second. And with Brandon Cooks gone, I think there's targets to give out to both of them. And I think Woods is going to have a good season. I think Keenan Allen's going to have a good season. He might not be top 6 like last year, but A.J. Brown's potential is just so much higher than both of those guys who are a little bit older. I mean, Keenan's, 28? I think Robert's 28. And A.J., I mean, you're investing in a guy that's 22 years old. He's in an offense where even though they're a running team, I mean, they were still giving him the ball, and he was just – his yak was insane last year. Yeah. It was 20 yards, right? 20, 21. I mean, it was insane. And Breida, if he gets traded or cut, somebody's going to grab him. Or if he gets cut, somebody's going to grab him. I think somebody can trade for him for pretty cheap. Yeah. And he's one of the fastest running backs in the NFL. Somebody can use him. If Kyle Shanahan didn't have 4 running backs on the roster, he'd probably be way more consistent. But I think either way, for Riley's team, it was about getting that. He has DJ Moore. He's going young. As you can see, he has DJ Moore, A.J. Brown, Calvin Ridley, Michael Gallup. So he's going young in the receiver department.
Yeah.
So,
Preston Williams.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, I love Preston. He's gonna be good.
So I think my team's probably like a year away. I think with our league set up, I got a chance to compete. If I don't, I'm not I'm not gonna feel like my team was a disappointment if I don't compete this year. So I think for me, it was about going into like 21 and 22. Who's got the chance to have the highest upside and to really push me over the top? And I felt like making the move for AJ Brown, even if I overpaid a little bit right now, bringing in a guy of that talent is hard to do.
Yep, I agree. All right, guys. That was some trades that's been happening. Hope you enjoyed them. If you want to see more trades, just let us know. Like, comment, some stuff that you'd like to see down below, and subscribe.
Yeah, if you've got trades in your league, I'm going to add this. If you got trades in your league and you want us to break them down, drop them in the comments, and we'll be sure to do it in a future video.
For sure. Send us any trade. We got you. 100% full, flawless breakdown. Maybe not flawless, but, we'll do our best. All right, Smash Gang.
Holler at you, Smash Gang.
Will, you throwing up the deuces?
Not this time, but I got them both up now.
Oh!
Hey!